Hi everyone, meteorologist Joe Chaffee on this Friday, and it's a busy Friday. As you look at the radar, we've got actually severe weather going on across eastern North Carolina on up into southeastern Virginia. There's been tornado watches posted by the Storm Prediction Center of the National Weather Service, and you can see the areas of rain that are shooting up to the north. One band is already well into the Hudson Valley and Connecticut. Then we're kind of like in this break zone at the moment, which at the time of this recording is almost 8:30 a.m. Eastern. Then we've got this heavy rain band to the south. Looks like a good concentration of rain across the entire state of Pennsylvania. And then this third band, and this is going to be the one I think that really puts down the bulk of the rainfall as we go through the day. Now here's how it looks on the surface map this morning. We've got a pretty strong southeast flow. The winds aren't all that particularly strong. It's actually a bit breezy here on Long Island where I am, so probably right along the coast it could be every bit of 20 to 25 knots or so. You're seeing some 20-knot wind barbs showing up, and the temperatures are in the 50s, the low 50s right now across Long Island, and up into northern Jersey. We even have a few upper 40s showing up in the Hudson Valley. We do have quite a few upper 40s, and the same for much of interior Connecticut. And then you get into the upper 50s and low 60s to the south and South Jersey. Still have mostly an east and southeast wind here, so the warm sector is setting up a little bit further to the south at the moment. It's probably somewhere. Here we have some winds. There's a southwest wind here, so I'm just kind of eyeballing it. It's still south-southeast. Here's where all the tropical air is, probably right in through this zone. So the warm front is still a little bit a little ways to the south. Nonetheless, there is that risk for severe weather today, and we'll show you how the Storm Prediction Center has it outlined. It's mainly from southern New Jersey on southward. Now, I'm thinking that this was the forecast that was put out overnight, and this is valid through tomorrow morning. Of course, the bulk of this is going to be for today. I'm pretty sure that this is the latest, but let me just refresh this just in case it got updated, because usually around 8 a.m. or so they do update it, and in fact, actually, this is the 12Z Outlook, it says. Okay. But the issue time in this category 1 risk 12Z Outlook. All right. But it was issued from overnight, so I don't have an update on this as of yet. Okay, so let's take a look at the satellite loop this morning. And there's that upper low just really creeping along to the northeast. The surface low riding up the Appalachians. You had a perfect setup here for heavy rains up and down the eastern seaboard, which is exactly what's happening. And we're going to see that continue on the HRRR model. And here we have it for 11 a.m., noon, 1 p.m. You can see how the heavy rains cover the entire state of New Jersey around midday. And then they start to taper off from west to east. This is at 2 p.m. They're done in Pennsylvania. And in western New Jersey, it's done, but it's still raining heavily across eastern New Jersey, New York City, Hudson Valley, southern New England, and Long Island. This is 3 p.m., 4 p.m., and Long Island getting hit particularly hard at this point, 5 p.m. And notice the back edge kind of gets stuck at New York City, 6 p.m., finally pushes to the east, 7, 8, 9, 10 p.m., 11 p.m. and midnight. So we have a pretty solid shot of rain here. And in terms of the total accumulated precipitation, we'll take a look at that from the HRRR model. Actually, it's quite bullish. The whitish areas you see here, that's all 2 inches, and you got these embedded purples. So there are going to be stripes of 2-inch plus rains anywhere from parts of eastern Pennsylvania across New Jersey, the lower Hudson Valley through Connecticut and southern New England, and over Long Island. I think that's probably the best way to look at this. And with respect to what we have for the weekend, I'm just going to switch over to the NAM model. And the NAM is about the same, by the way, in terms of its rainfall forecast. So let me just get a little wider region here, and we'll take a look. And So here you have it on the NAM model, and there are some more showers that come up from offshore hitting parts of Long Island and southern New England on Saturday morning. And notice there's not a whole lot of shower activity that's indicated over the area from Long Island back over into northern New Jersey through the day Saturday. I think you have to mention the risk of some showers. Just because the model doesn't have it doesn't mean you can't. It's not a possibility. And then here we go into Sunday with this stripe of cold air and snow in western New York for Saturday night into Sunday morning, which would be very interesting. So this weather system is just going to continue to rotate through the weekend. I'm going to predict that there'll probably be more rain showers around than what the model is showing, because the air is going to be very cold and very unstable, and I would not at all be shocked to see some rain showers running around differently than what the model has it. And in fact, if you look at the GFS is a little more bullish with these showers for the daytime Saturday into Saturday night, and on Sunday. Now we're into Monday morning. Very cool air here, by the way, Monday. It's going to feel like a day in early April than early May. We may have a tough time getting out of the 50s. And then moving through next week, because we still have this blocking pattern, we're going to have to be keeping our eyes on a couple of weather systems moving across. They show up on some runs and less so on others. But as long as we've got this block going on, we're going to have to pay attention to that. So let's go to the west. Really fast and see what's going on for the western part of the U.S. while all of this is happening. And I'll just back up. The weather for shifting with this block to the east should make the west a little calmer. We do have some activity in the Rockies going on early next week. It seems to be kind of concentrated there. And then another low. Here's another low that forms in North Texas, and that'll get ejected eastward toward the East Coast. You've got a system coming into the Pacific Northwest, but it doesn't look all that strong. And, that reforms in the northern Rockies there. But again, nothing outrageous. Just a couple of weak weather systems moving along. And I think that's going to be the general theme here. Again, as long as we have the trough now, more the trough in the east and less so in the west, more of a ridge in the west, and the fact that we have this blocking situation. So we'll give it a good look here on the overall pattern. It looks like the block is gone by the end of the 2-week period on that quick view I just looked at. But here we have it. It's this big upper high that's building. This is today, by the way, according to the GFS. So you have this deep trough in the east that lifts up, and because of this upper high, and again, we pointed out yesterday how this big storm near the Azores isn't moving. In fact, it's retrograding back westward a little bit. So that keeps the weather system in the east in place, just forces it to rotate down and around. And then eventually that block does disappear. You can see by day 8 or 9, which is May 13th, translates to the upper high, goes into western Canada, if this is right. So you do have one last deep trough here in the east for next weekend. And then after that, looks like looks like the ridge wants to pop back up a little bit toward the end of the 2-week period. So now we're into May 19th and 20th. And you know what? If it does happen that way, that would make sense, because your blocking patterns usually last for, they could last only a few days. They could last for maybe a couple of weeks. They usually don't last much longer than that. They're much more unstable than some of the other patterns you might see, and therefore, it tends to at least break down for a little while. So if this thing runs its course in about 10 days, I think that would probably be pretty much in line with how blocks work. All right, folks, enjoy your Friday. Be safe. Watch the heavy rains in the east. Have a great day. And check out latest web posts at meteorologistjoechaffee.com, Angry Ben on nycweathernow.com. You can download my app and subscribe to my forecasts for just 99 cents a month for New York, New Jersey, Long Island, Connecticut, Hudson Valley, and eastern Pennsylvania. It's something pretty handy to have on a day like today, or for that matter, any day. And subscribe to my YouTube videos and join all of us, all 3,027 of us, on my YouTube channel. And it's free. Hit the little red subscribe button on the channel page, and you'll get notifications when new videos show up. And usually that's once a day. All right, everybody, have a great Friday.